Good morning and welcome to the Southwest Herts Fit to Bid Supplier Development Programme. I'm delighted today to welcome colleagues from Dacorum Borough Council, St Albans City and District Council, Hertsmere Council and Watford Borough Council. My name is Tracy James and I'm a business advisor for Brandwin Business Support. So we have quite a busy morning, well, an hour ahead of us. So just to run through the agenda this morning, I will start 20 minutes or so, talk a little bit about Brandwin, who we are, what we do, a little bit about the Fit to Bid, the deliverables on that programme, and also submitting a expression of interest. I will then hand over to my colleagues, Emily Everton, Procurement Manager at Dacorum, and then Lisa will follow, Lisa Baldock, Procurement Manager at Hertsmere Borough Council, and then Nicholas Baxter, who's also Procurement Manager at St Albans and City District Council, also St Albans City and District Council, and then Lauren Dovey of Watford Borough Council. She's the Economic Development Officer there. And then back to me for about 10 minutes, just to talk to you a little bit about the Meet the Bar event, some of our large private sectors buyers, ones we've worked with in the past, and potentials for this programme, and a couple of case studies. And then we will go on to sort of 10 minutes, roughly, a sort of Q&A, and then the next steps. So without further ado, I'll give you a little bit of background about myself. So I'm Tracy James. I'm a business advisor. I've been advisor for over 10 years now, a background in financial services. I work closely with SMEs across Hertfordshire, Watford and Hertfordshire, helping develop local business growth. I'm also a co-director of Gateway to Business. We host monthly networking events for business owners and entrepreneurs. I have delivered Women in Business programme with NatWest, and I've been a judge on a business den, like a Dragon's Den. I've been a panel judge for Harrow Council. Most recently, I have led Watford's UK SPF supply chain programme for 2 years, supporting tender readiness and organising 4 Meet the Bar events over the past couple of years. And I've also recently delivered advisory sessions for both Brent and Hillingdon programmes, again, helping SMEs improve their bid strategy and submission. And for those of you that wonder what the UK SPF is, it's the UK Shared Prosperity Fund, and it's a fund received by local authorities to support local businesses and help develop local business growth. Okay, so a little bit about Brandwin now. So we consult with local authorities, chambers of commerce, universities, major construction projects, transit hubs, and anchor institutions to identify and deliver business growth services to meet their strategic needs. We deliver support programs. I'll come on to those in a moment, different support programs to actually enhance and build community wealth. And the people we assist, well, people like yourselves, so entrepreneurs, business owners, and we help you to start, run, scale businesses both in the UK and overseas. So again, a little bit more about Brandon, what we have delivered. So we started in 2000, established in 2011. During that time, we have delivered 45 different programs, and programs range from anything from 3 months to 18 months. So some major programs we've delivered. We've connected and worked with over 25,000 SMEs. So that's quite a lot of small businesses in London and South East region. Hundreds of success stories, some of which I will come on to later in the case studies section. As I said, we mainly work in London and the Southeast, but we are now exploring opportunities in the Midlands and also the Northeast. So we are branching out. So this little diagram shows. Okay, something about the programs that we deliver. So, as I said earlier, we do everything from startup, scale up, entrepreneurship, national, international wealth, community wealth, and business resilience. So, we have our goal mapper program for startups, looking at products and services and innovation. Then we can move on to the sales mapper, sort of business acceleration in scaling up and looking again at those products and services and the whole sales channels and how those can be delivered into different markets. Fortuna, our Women in Business program, all around inclusivity. We've delivered lots of those programs very successfully. Uh, Fit to Export, so for businesses who work internationally, that's another program we deliver. Fit to Bid, that's this program. This is a program that you've signed up for. That's our flagship program, and those are the ones mentioned earlier that we've delivered across many of the boroughs in London, Southwest. And a more recent program we've added is the Fit for Finance, incentives around profitability and cash flow and business resilience. So this slide here will show my colleague Naiza Manekshaw always says it's taken us, 14 years now to develop this slide. And as he says, it's not because we're no good at creating a PowerPoint presentation or a PowerPoint slide. It's just the length of time that it takes to actually get these programs on board, up and running and delivered and measuring the outcomes. So as you can see, we've got quite a few different names on there. On the top part, these are the local authorities we've worked with. So see that there we are, Southwest Herts, that's us, that's there. And yeah, all the way across to Sussex and Sutton and Wandsworth. So we've worked with quite a few. So we're quite experienced in dealing with local authorities. In the middle here, we have the Chambers of Commerce we've worked for. Again, we've gone down as far as sort of Hampshire in Surrey. So lots of change over to Kingston as well. And then at the bottom, some of our sort of strategic business partners we've worked with. We are a partner with Heathrow, business partner with Heathrow. And just last week, a couple of my colleagues were at the launch of the new Heathrow SME Academy. So we've been quite busy over the past 14 years. We are delighted to say that the programme, the Fit to Bid programme, is recognised by the government website. So you go in there and look for business finance support or Fit to Bid. There you are, you will see us there. So we're delighted to be recognised by the Department for Business and Trade. So we've been there for the past 3 years now. So yeah, to get that endorsement from the government is something that we're very proud of. So these are the programs that we have run recently, have run recently. As you'll see, that it's Hillingdon, a huge program at Hillingdon, of course, incorporates Heathrow as well. Ealing, we've run a very successful program there, as Wandsworth and Watford, as I just mentioned. We've done 2 years Watford. This is now the 3rd year. Of course, Southwest Herts, Hammersmith and Fulham, Brent, and of course, Hounslow. So if you log on to the website here, fit2bid.co.uk, click on Southwest Herts and all the information. I mean, you may have registered, but you can still go through there and actually have a look at everything that's contained in there. So that's here on the Southwest Hertfordshire programme. So a little bit about the methodology of the Fit to Bid programme. So we start with engaging with procurement, and that's where we are today at this launch event, engaging with the local authorities who have come together to run this programme. Interestingly, usually we run these programs with one local authority at a time. So we are excited to be able to do it with 4 local authorities and 4 councils for this particular programme have come together as that Southwest Herts region to deliver this together. So lots of opportunities for all of you. So that's how we start. We engage with procurement. And then you'll be sent a link to complete an online bid capability assessment. There's questionnaire and report. A list of questions of where you are on your journey, on your sort of bidding and tendering journey. And that gives us sort of insight as to where you are, and that helps us sort of follow on. As we will, the next stage will be bidding skills. So we deliver a whole range of workshops, which I'll come on to on the next slide or so. So over the coming months from now up until November, there will be some online workshops that you can attend. And that starts from the very beginnings, introduction to bid writing, right up to how to get yourself ready for the Meet the Bar event, and lots of bits in between. And then we will talk about your products, your services, and and the kind of sales enablement, the product and services that you have, and do they need refining? Are they fit for you to be able to be in a position to tender for a contract, whether there needs any adjustment around that. And then we have the one-to-one tender advice sessions. So these will be with myself. They're held online. They're typically about 45 minutes to an hour each, where we do a bit more of a deep dive into your business and follow-up actions. And then, of course, we have the actual Meet the Bar event at the end. That's going to be on the 13th of November. I'll give you more details about that over the next couple of slides. And that's what that's for. And that's where you'll meet with buyers from the local authorities. All 4 local authorities will be there, and also some private sector buyers. So this is the timetable. Don't worry about writing all of this down, because all of this slides will be sent out to you. So you will have everything sent to you. And also prior to these events going live, you will be sent a link to sign up for them anyway. So you don't need to write them down. You don't need to write them down now. So yeah, we kick off on the 10th of September. Introduction to bid writing. Most of the sessions will be delivered by myself. A couple will be delivered by my colleagues. And as you can see there, as we go through, so we go through from the foundation to the advanced, writing public sector bids and tenders. And again, evaluating your tender business model. We will look at your business model as well, and how fit that is, ready to tender for businesses, and what the buyers are actually looking for. A little bit around design and development of the products and services with procurement. And again, developing key partnerships, which is key to winning new contracts. And just before the day before the Meet the Buyer event, we have a pitching for success, so preparing to meet the buyer. So, if you've not done it before, you know what to expect and how to give yourselves the best opportunity when you're pitching your business, what the buyer's actually looking for. So lots of workshops ahead, and I say they will be sent to you prior to the dates for you to actually sign up for them. Okay, now if for any reason you can't attend a workshop, or you've signed up and you missed the workshop, we do have a YouTube channel, Brand and Business Support, our YouTube channel, and all of the workshops will be uploaded, a few days after. They will all be uploaded to that channel, whereby you can just go back and log in and watch them from there. And actually, people who attend the workshops live quite often say, "Oh, actually, I went back and they're full of so much information, useful information, that people often go back and say, oh, yeah, I just wanted to rewatch it to just jog my memory on a few things." So that's really, really helpful. That's proven to be really helpful. So as part of the one-to-one business session, so we have the workshops, and then we will be followed by one-to-one business sessions. And what we do, we have something called a action card, which we use. So we collect the details and data from yourself about who you are, about the business, a little bit of the EDI information, and then who you are, your business, descriptions, your products, your services, and any sort of issues you have or the barriers to actually submitting a winning bid. Could be that you've never done it before. It's just completely new to you. And we deal with a lot of feedback I get. People say to me, we're only a small business. So, we don't have a chance of winning a contract. That is not true. And later on, we will show you some case studies as to small businesses that have won contracts and are doing very, very well. So yeah, that's a case for you to fill that in. And then we'll put some action points together. We will look at, we'll do a SWOT analysis, we'll put together a tender action plan and a little bit of sort of homework for you to go away and work on. And there may be a case in some circumstances where there may be a follow-up one-to-one session as well. And then what we do, we support you in preparation and submission of putting together a formal bid or an expression of interest. So yeah, this little card is our kind of guideline together. This is what we will be working through. In addition to that, there are many other guidelines that we will send out to you. You can see them listed here on the left hand side. Again, buyer expectations, meet the buyer events, bid submission tactics. There's lots of little bits that you sent out in PDF form, but lots of interesting information. And you would have seen or heard, about sort of social value for SMEs now, and we include a practical guide as to what businesses should be doing for social value now. Some people are already doing bits and pieces, others have no idea at all. So that's a really good guide for you to follow. And again, procurement now, certainly contracts above a certain level are looking for businesses to demonstrate their social value. So there's lots there to support the workshops and the one-to-ones and with these guidelines as well. And then at the end of the programme, you will be supplied with a little ebook. It's essentially a summary of everything that has been contained in the programme. So it's a really handy guide for you to keep and, bring out as and when it is necessary. So much here for you, lots of valuable information to help you improve your tender responses and of course increase your chances of winning a contract. So Meet the Bar event. So we've got the Meet the Bar event on the 13th of November. And we have successfully, over recent months and years, successfully delivered numerous Meet the Bar events. We've had 4 at Watford, at the football club. I know some of you here today were present. One or more of those Meet the Bar events, hugely successful. And actually, we have got case studies where people now are actually, they have won contracts solely through meeting procurement at Meet the Bar events. The great events. They're very lively. There's always a great vibe in the room, and yeah, they're interesting. So highly recommend that you put that date, 13th of November, in your calendar. So again, the Hillingdon, we've successfully delivered 4 Meet the Bar events at Hillingdon, 2 in Ealing, 2 in Hounslow, Hammersmith and Fulham, Wandsworth 3, and a couple we've delivered in Brent as well. They take a lot of planning, a lot of putting together, but they are, logistics around it are, they're fun. But they're great events and they're great opportunities for you. So you meet local procurement, large private sector buyers, construction and infrastructure buyers, and other local anchor institution, chambers of commerce are there to support us as well. Again, the Heathrow, as I mentioned before, the Heathrow SME Academy. So we are partners with them. We've been at the Heathrow Business Summit for the past few years, the 22, 23, 24. We will be there again this year. We have a very good relationship with them and the team at Heathrow. Some of them you may have met, Isabel and her colleagues from Heathrow, and they're big supporters of ours. So that's if you have a product or a service you think may work for Heathrow, then you'll be delighted to meet the team. They're great supporters. So here we have, so this is the date for the calendar, Thursday, the 13th of November. You will be sent a link nearer to the time to book in for this event. It'll be arrival time 2 o'clock, 2:30 to 5 p.m. will be presentations and opportunity to meet the buyers. What we always say that the meetings are in 10-minute slots. And what we always say, there'll be pre-booked meetings typically. And when the pre-booked meetings have fully booked up, there is usually an opportunity after those meetings to do some walk-in meetings with some of the buyers. We always ask that you come prepared and schedule your pitch, as it were, to last no more than 10 minutes. So they don't want to, bearing in mind the buyers are meeting lots and lots of people on the day. And so just come clear, concise messaging, what you're looking for and what you hope to get out of the meeting as well. So yeah, they are great events. Okay, so that brings me back to that's the first part of the session this morning. And what I will do now is hand you over to Emily Everton, Procurement Manager at the Dacorum Borough Council. And then after you've heard from my colleagues at the councils, we'll come back and I will tell you a little bit more about some of the large private sector buyers you may have the opportunity to meet, and also some case studies and again the next steps. So over to you, Emily.
Thank you, Tracy. Hi, everybody. I'm really pleased to be here today. My name's Emily Everton and I'm the Procurement Manager here at Dacorum Borough Council. Over the next few slides, I'll speak a bit about procurement at Dacorum Borough Council and the processes that we have in place as a council for procuring goods, works and services. The council have a set of commissioning and procurement standing orders in place. These are a set of rules that provide a framework which all officers and members of the council must follow when procuring goods, works and services on behalf of the council. Further information in relation to the commissioning and procurement standing orders can be found on our website or obviously via the PDF attachment that you can see in the slides. We are also currently in the process of updating our procurement strategy, but there is an existing one that can be found on the procurement page of our website as well if anyone is interested in looking at that. As you can see from the slide, each year the council spends approximately £70 million on a range of goods, works and services across the borough. The highest spending areas for us are housing and environmental services, and they would make up over 55% of that overall spend value relative to the 70 million figure. We also have a contract register, which we publish on our website quarterly. So that provides details of all contracts that the council procures, currently over £25,000. And then in terms of the supplier makeup, the council's third-party spend with suppliers is a mix of both local SMEs as well as national suppliers as well. So just a little bit more then about Dacorum and the values of quotations and tenders. So for contracts that are under £30,000, a minimum of one quote is required. It should be noted that the £30,000 figure is inclusive of VAT, and it is the total contract value rather than the annualised contract value. So for contracts between £30,000 and £99,999, a minimum of 3 quotes are required. Quotations generally are normally what we call closed quotations. So that would involve inviting suppliers of the directorate's choice to bid. The process is managed by the directorate in question, with procurement providing support on any potential queries that may arise throughout the process. For any contracts with a value of over 100,000, the council will undertake a tender process. The procurement team will provide support throughout the tender process to the directorates procuring the contract. And we have two separate procurement teams, I think it's probably worth noting. So we have our corporate procurement team, which I'm part of, and we procure all contracts across the organisation apart from for housing. And then we have a commercial housing contracts team who procure all housing related contracts on behalf of the council. We do also utilise frameworks to award contracts, so that could be for a contract with a value below 30,000 all the way through to a tender that is above the £100,000 threshold. We may choose to direct award via the frameworks in certain cases, or we may carry out a competition depending on the nature of the service in question. Thank you. So in terms of how the council procures their opportunities, the council uses the Supply Hertfordshire portal to advertise all opportunities that are over £100,000, and we would recommend that all suppliers register on Supply Hertfordshire to view any opportunities that may come up. There is also a requirement for contracts that are over £100,000 for all officers to consider social value as part of the procurement and commissioning process. And then for contracts that are valued below 100,000, it's for the directorates to invite suppliers of their choice to bid, as I've previously said, and that would be done via email correspondence. And this is just obviously my contact details, so if anyone has any questions or wants to contact me directly, then I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. But thank you very much.
Thanks, Emily. Good morning, everybody. I'm Lisa Baldock. I am Head of Procurement, shared alongside with Kirsten Brown at Herts Borough Council. So our process is very similar to Emily's, but I will take you through, because we do have some differing thresholds, and so as individual authorities, we do have some differences as well. So we've got a procurement strategy which was rewritten quite recently, and that actually is quite reflective of the new government procurement policy, which has come in as part of the new procurement regulations. So the strategy was approved at full council in February, along with our contract procedure rules, which were also updated to incorporate changes which have been brought about by the new procurement regulations. I've put a link in on the slides there, so you can actually access both of those, and you can look at the strategy and the procedure rules. So as a council, we spend around about £14 million a year. That ranges from goods, works and services. And we do use all sorts of different organisations. We use small SMEs, local SMEs, but we also use national companies as well, similar to that Emily was already discussing with you. We manage procurement similarly to Emily through the Supply Hertfordshire portal. We advertise all contracts over £100,000. But the exception to that is works, where we'll advertise over 250,000. So we would recommend that in order to actually get alerts to be able to see those advertised procurements, that you register on Supply Hertfordshire. That also enables you to be selected for the quotation procurements, which are the below 100,000 threshold. So can we go next? Sorry. Oh yeah, sorry. Apologies. Yeah, that's okay. Sorry, I was looking. Yeah, can we move on? Sorry. Thank you. That's my fault. So for our contracts which are under 15,000, all we ask is that departments seek a minimum of one written quotation for those. Anything between 15 and 100,000, we would expect 3 quotations, which, like Emily, they are selected by the individual departments. But if you are registered on Supply Hertfordshire, the departments actually can view those suppliers, and they can select from Supply Hertfordshire. So it does help to be registered on that system. And then all contracts over the Procurement Act thresholds will be following the appropriate competitive, flexible procedure or open procedure in line with the regulations. We do also procure through framework contracts. So we do look at a wide range of frameworks that we utilise. Some of that we use for speed. If we haven't got much time to spend, say, grant money, and when we utilise frameworks, but that they're also there, and there are some smaller suppliers on some of those frameworks, the smaller ones. So, but generally, we are using them, as I say, if we need to access something quite quickly. The council's contracts register at Hertsmere is updated quarterly. It's on our website, as the link shows on the slides. We don't actually publish a pipeline, but we do have all the contract end dates on the contracts register, so that helps to understand when we're going to be coming up for renewal on a contract that's likely to be renewed. So with regards to social value, all contracts above 100k do have social value included. If they're works, it will be 250. We evaluate the social value through the social value portal, which contains a range of TOMs, which are themes, outcomes, and measures. And we use those to evaluate social value. But most tenders are evaluated on price and quality, and so there's that we have that most economically advantageous offer, although the new regulations are allowing us to go out purely on quality if we so wish, but that's not something that we generally would adopt. So further information on procurement at Hertsmere, so I've put the link in there for further information, and also the contact details of myself and Kirsten Brown, who works alongside me as a shared procurement manager. So thank you for your time, and over to St Albans, I think. Thank you.
Hello, thank you very much, Lisa. My name's Nicholas, and I am the Senior Procurement Officer at St Albans City and District Council. So the council has 3 directorates. We're quite a small procurement team, with myself being the lead officer who supports all other officers within the council across the 3 directorates with any new or existing requirements. I do have a colleague who is more in a sort of admin role, so he sort of releases the requisitions and sends the POs to our supply base, and he also reviews our internal business cases for new projects. Like the other councils that have previously gone before me, we use Intend as our e-procurement tool, and we also utilize Supply Hertfordshire. I would really recommend that you do register with Supply Hertfordshire, because it's how you'll see all of our tenders. Once you've created an account, you can search the functionality to search for those tenders. And at St Albans, we start all our tenders with SADC, followed by the reference number. So every single project has its own unique reference number, and followed by the title. So it should be, if you follow that sort of approach, that's how you would find St Albans City and District Council tenders following on the Supply Hertfordshire tool. So as everyone else has sort of covered routes to market, at St Albans, we have, again, slightly different approach to both Decorum and Hertsmere. So up to 10k is 1 quote is required, and then between 10k and 25k, 3 quotes are required. Quotes, again, are normally closed, and it is the business area's sort of decision on who they use, and they tend to kind of go with local SMEs opposed to national suppliers. But it's sort of, it's a bit of both, but there is a real emphasis on local SMEs. That's a really, really important aspect of how we want to procure. 25k and over, the council undertakes a tender process by way of mini competition. We use frameworks, but we also may use, or we do use, open tender exercises via Supply Hertfordshire if required. So framework agreements, Lisa's already sort of mentioned that there's quite a variety out there, but we do a mixture of both of those. And then for contracts over 100k, our tenders are evaluated on price and quality, and we have about 10% allocated for social value and sustainability. At St Albans City and District Council, they've kind of put out that we've got a climate emergency, and we're very keen, and it's very important to us about sustainability. And there will be a question in our tenders about sustainability and how you can support us by ensuring that we're trying to get to net carbon zero by 2030. So got a few years to go, but that is a really important aspect for St Albans. So the council's constitution can be found on our website, and I've given provided the link to that. We've also got a procurement strategy that's we're currently working on updating, but the current strategy is on there. So in the last financial year, the council spent approximately 70 million on a range of goods, services and works. And the largest spend is a mixture of local SMEs and national suppliers. And the council contract register is updated quarterly and can be found on the St Albans Council's website, which I've also provided a link for. And we've just updated it for Q1 in 25. So recent examples of tenders and mini competitions that we have run as a council include Legionella for both residential and commercial. We've done museum roofing works, CCTV, monitoring and maintenance, museum catering services, replacement footbridge and path upgrade. So that's sort of like a flavour, and that covers across the 3 directorates. No one requirement is the same. We're often working with a varied range of goods and services across the council. Pipeline projects, we don't publish pipeline projects, but these are just projects that I'm in the early stages of working on. So we've got adaptations for housing, we've got high aggregation there. So we need to put a tender out to get a contract in place for that type of spend, because we have a lot of housing stock, and we have a lot of adaptations for people with all sorts of needs. We've also got hybrid mail, so we've got a print room, and we've got a hybrid mail solution. I think we're one of the only councils within the area that actually have fully fledged hybrid mail solution. So we're going to re-tender that. And then we also have quite a lot of play areas in St Albans. I believe I was speaking to the Green Spaces officer who manages the play areas for the council, and we've got about 30, 35. Don't quote me on that number, but that's quite a lot. So we tend to run mini competitions off an ESPO framework for those play area work tenders, where we are curing all sorts of play equipment. And then we've also got a tender for electrical rewire. So thank you for listening to my presentation. My name is Nicholas, and I'm the Senior Procurement Officer at St Albans City and District Council.
Morning, everyone. I'm Lauren, one of the Economic Development Officers at Watford Council. So as some of the other councils have mentioned, we also have a procurement strategy, and the web link is here on the slide. It's definitely worth having a look at these strategies because they do go into more detail about how the council procures, the kind of things we're looking for, and a bit more about the process. Similar to Decorum, we spend around 75 million per annum on a wide range of work. So similar to the things the other councils have said, from goods and services, from everyday items to major construction projects, of which there is many in Watford at the moment. And again, our spend is a mix of local suppliers, so that could be local small businesses or large businesses, and also suppliers that are further away, obviously depending on need. But we will always build in as many opportunities for local suppliers where possible. We also build in social value into the procurement process. It's already considered in all our tenders, but we're actually looking at a new social value framework at the moment. So that's under development, and that will be really good because we'll be able to monitor all the great things that are put in place as part of these tenders as well. So again, as others have mentioned, we have a contracts register. So this is the web link where you can find both our contracts register, and also we have our pipeline register there as well. So there's some really useful information on there. Obviously, it tells you what the contract is and the value, and it also has the lead officer who procures that contract or has procured that contract. So we provide those email addresses as well. As others have said, it's the lead officers that have the responsibility, so that is devolved to departments. So there's probably 5, 6 or 7 lead officers that procure for their service. But again, as I said, their details are on the contract registers, so definitely worth having a look there. So we are slightly different in terms of the system we use. So we have our own online portal called Delta eSource. It's not actually our online portal, it's a portal we use that many other organisations use as well. So Delta eSourcing, the links there, and any contracts above 25,000 will be advertised there. So openly advertised, unless, again, as others had said, that we do use frameworks as well. And these contracts will also be advertised on Contracts Finder as well. So there's a few other government websites it's worth you registering on looking for contracts for also. So just a note on frameworks. I know we've all kind of mentioned that, and this will be covered more in the webinars and one-to-one. So if you're not sure what we're talking about when we talk about frameworks, there is support with this kind of understanding how you join frameworks and what they're all about as well. So these are our thresholds that are similar to some of the others. So for less than 10,000, we need to get one written quote. And then more from 10,000 to almost 25,000, then we would require 3 quotes. So this is a really great opportunity, especially when it comes to Meet the Buyer event, that you meet some of the heads of departments we've discussed, because they'll be the ones procuring for the council, and you can either register on the Supply Hertfordshire or with us, you'll register slightly differently. But it's a great thing to do. So when we do come to getting these 3 quotes, that you are known or on a database, or the lead officer is aware of your organisation. And then similarly, for any contracts that are above 25,000, then again, we will advertise those, or some projects may also go through a framework as well. I know that the detail on the slide is quite small, but these will be sent to you so you can have a look through, and this does link back through to our strategy as well. And then anything above the threshold, as others have mentioned, that's above 100,000, then these opportunities will be advertised as well, and generally more companies will be invited to bid for those opportunities as they're larger value. So this is just our contact details. So obviously we do have a procurement manager as well. So our team, Economic Development, work really closely with our procurement manager. We've all worked on this project for the last few years with Brandrew, and we'll all be at the Meet the Buyer event. And it'll be a great opportunity for you to meet our procurement manager there, but also meet some of our lead officers as well as our team too. But yeah, contact details, as Michelle's, are openly shared. So if you do have further questions or you see something on the contracts register and think I just need to know a bit more about that, then you're welcome to always get in touch with us as well, just to find out a bit more if you want some more detail. So I think that's everything from us. Thank you.
Right, just bear with me. Thank you, Lauren. Just going to reshare my slides. Right, okay, hopefully you can see that. Yeah, so thank you, Emily, Lisa, Nicholas, and Lauren. Lots of useful information there. And what I will say, again, don't need to take all that down. There's lots of information there for you all to take in, but the slides will be sent out. So all those links and everything you will be able to take from the slides. So we've got around about 15, 20 minutes left now. So what I will do now is talk to you a little bit. I can see there are some Q&As in the chat, but we will I will address those towards the end. But yeah, so what we want to talk about now is moving on to the Meet the Buyer event and buyers we've had at Watford, events previously. You can see here, I mean, there's so many businesses in and around Watford. Really lucky in Hertfordshire because we've got some serious clout in terms of businesses that are there. So you will see, of course, we've had Watford Borough Council, the Community Housing, Heathrow, TJX, also known as TK Maxx, who we all know and love, Berkeley Homes, great, and of course Warner Brothers, great big development out there at Leavesden, Veolia, Bugler, Morgan Sindall, PwC, so the NHS, and also Kia Group. So we've had some fantastic events, as I said before, so really useful. And of course, then we're looking at Decorum, again, lots of large companies then in Decorum. So these are people that will be invited. We will be having conversations with them over the coming months, and we hope that they will be at the Meet the Buyer event. As you can see there, we've got some great big names there, you know, Britvic, and the Marlow Shopping Centre, Bourne Leisure, of course, the council again. So again, lots of potential businesses here that you could potentially work with. Again, Hertsmere, the land of film and TV with all the studios we have there. Of course, Costco, that's their flagship, their head office in BBC Studios. And of course, London, the Elstree Aerodrome as well. So as I say, we will be having conversations with all of these suppliers. And again, St Albans, of course, the council will be there. And great, Fox Burton's companies, the Harpenden Building Society, Jarvis Homes, there's lots, Premier Foods. So between the four boroughs, there's some serious clout in terms of businesses that are there. So we're looking forward to a really great Meet the Buyer event in November. So again, this is the date for your calendars. Pop it in there now so you know not to book anything else in that day. Of course, Shendish Manor is a beautiful, lovely country hotel. So, where better to spend an afternoon in probably grey, miserable November than at Shendish Manor. It's lovely. So I just want to talk about two or three case studies that we've had, so successes from businesses, people who've attended these programs we've run in the past. And we had this lovely lady, Sarah, at a small cleaning business. And through the program, she went through the skills workshops and the submitting a bid. She actually won a contract with the Crown Commercial Service. She now supplies, she has a royal warrant, and she now supplies services to the royal household. So that's quite a wow, from a tiny small business to something like this, and her business is just growing and growing. So yeah, well done to Sarah. She's been it's been an incredible journey for her. And of course, our friends Luthan and Ian, both of the Pallets Yard, again, small business. They were struggling. They couldn't find a which way forward. And again, through the programs, it gave them so much clarity and opportunity to meet buyers and speak to them. And they are now a supplier for Heathrow. And of course, Chun-Li as well, who's the healthy air technology. And likewise, she has won contracts, and she's awarded the Silver Award for the SME Hertfordshire Business of the Year. It's in 2022. And again, after completed the Brandwin programs, she stepped out, she just refocused and just stepped out and said, right, okay, this has given me clarity. This is what I know I now need to do. And it's just transformed her business. So it is proof that these programs actually work. And that's just 3 case studies that I've shown with you today. But we have had other successes as well. And if these guys can do it, you can do it too. And some of these are back on the back of the Watford programs we've run the last couple of years. Some of our Hillingdon program. And Brent, you see the pallet supplier I've just spoken about, the commercial cleaning, window supplies, courier companies. That was on the back of one of the Watford programs. Construction, building trade supplies, quite a few of those. EV charging, that was from the signage, both on the back of the Watford programs. Adult social care, that's through Hillingdon. Charities, assisted transport, video production, IT and automation. Scented candles, that was a recent one from Hillingdon. He's now supplying the Harrow, I think it's one of the oldest buildings in Harrow, actually. It's the Harrow Museum. She's now supplying them and other contracts in the pipeline. Relocation services and energy consultants. So it doesn't matter what industry you are in, there's always potential. So it's great to develop relationships with the people you're going to meet at these Meet the Buyer events and through the course of the program. So register for the program. If you've not already done so, there's a sign up link there, the QR code. You can take a picture of that or go to the www.fit2bid.co.uk and then you just click on the Southwest Hertfordshire link there and the details will be there for you to fill in and to go through. And we'd just be delighted to welcome you on the programme. And it's great. It's been fantastic. As I've run a few of these now, and it's a great opportunity for small businesses. And there was one recently I spoke to, and they've managed to acquire quite a major contract. And he said it's just turned our business around. It's just made a huge difference from it. So we were doing okay. But he said it's just taken us to the next level. And he said to me, we would never have had the opportunity had we not attended the Meet the Bar event, because we wouldn't have known who to speak to or had that face-to-face conversation. That's where it starts, those face-to-face conversations. So I would encourage you all to jump on, register if you haven't already registered. We will keep you informed. You will get through emails through now to book for your one-to-one sessions. You can start that straight away, even sort of prior to some of the workshops, and it can give you some insight already to the workshops. So yeah, delighted to have you all on the programme and help you grow your businesses. We're delighted to work with the 4 borough councils. It's going to be a interesting programme ahead, and we're delighted to have everybody invested in this and supporting local businesses within Hertfordshire. So I will stop sharing. I think I've seen somewhere there were some questions. So if I just sharing the screen. I just want to have a look in the Q&A. Somebody has said, will we meet other participants during the Zoom sessions? Typically not during the Zoom sessions, but definitely at the Meet the Bar event. And in addition to, you trying to secure business or contract with some of the buyers, we always encourage participants to, talk to each other and work with each other as well. Nigel is messaging one of the others. I think somebody also messaged about bringing in one of the, can you bring colleagues, work colleagues to the events? Yes, given numbers allow, then you can bring one of your business associates to the event with you. Does anybody else have any questions for any of the panel that we've not already covered? Yeah, I think they've been answered in the questions. Yes, just pop them in the chat. Yes, the slides will be sent out by email. Somebody's put that in the chat. Yeah, the one-to-ones will be, you will be contacted, and then you will be given my details to book on the one-to-one session. No, okay. Well, so you will have the email. You will have my email address and my telephone number. So thank you all for joining today. We look forward to welcome you all on the programme and helping you all grow and scale your businesses. Thank you to my colleagues at Dacorum, Hertsmere, St Albans and Watford. And we look forward to having a great programme, and we'll see you all soon. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Tracy. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Lauren.